What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Dua Babylon Media. I'm your host, Babylon.
And I'm Dua Lipa.
Why did that take you 5 years? Did you forget your name in the middle of that?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, well that's Dua Flipa.
The
Other host.
Yeah.
The other half of our name.
Yeah. I suppose.
Good lord.
I don't know. Okay. And I'm Dua Flipa. That's who I am. I was gonna say something like funny, but then I couldn't. And then...
What were you trying to say?
And I'm... I don't know. That's what
I'm lopsided.
And I'm the dumpster fire, and JT.
Girl.
Oh, not even. That's not.
That's not even who you are.
I know. I forgot. Pause.
Not you misgendering yourself,
dude. I saw the TV glow.
Anyway,
I can't. Don't put that in. Edit that out.
And this week we are covering RuPaul's Drag Race season 17 episode. Well, okay, we gotta talk about the elephant in the room again.
Yeah,
because
another week.
This weekly podcast is currently becoming a bi-weekly podcast. We did record an episode for episode 4 with a special guest that we are definitely gonna try to get back on the podcast. The problem is that when we recorded it, when I saved it, I don't know what happened, but it kind of biffed half of our episode's audio. There was just cuts in between stuff. Things didn't render correctly. And I don't know if there's a way to just back anything up or whatever, but I gave up on it because it was just too complicated.
Listen, I can't even get to YouTube sometimes. This is all your thing. Just so everyone knows, Banyan, oh my god.
If you don't start calling me by my government name, I'm gonna start losing it.
Babylon does actually all of the post editing, because I can't do that. I'm just not good at it.
Yeah. I do everything.
I'd probably just edit you out and just have V talk the entire time.
That's what I do with you, so it works out perfectly.
Right? No one even knows that I'm on the podcast.
People are just now finding out on episode 5 that there was a second person on this podcast. We do have to give a little bit of a recap of what happened last week for episode 4, and then we're going to talk about this incredibly juicy episode of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, so episode 4. Last week they did lip sync songs to iconic moments of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Well, no, it was a singing challenge. They were singing it.
But it was a lip sync challenge. Their singing wasn't involved in the judging. No point were they your voice was great. You sang it so well. The whole entire thing was just their performance of the lip sync.
Okay, that's fair. Fine.
That wasn't even a part of the judging, so I'm not going to call it a singing challenge. But of doing it of iconic moments throughout RuPaul's Drag Race history, some of these moments include, good God, get a grip, girl. You're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you look like Linda Evangelista.
Back rolls.
What would be the moment that you would want to lip sync to?
Back rolls. I say that all the time, but I would want to be Alyssa just to do the face, and there's so many Alyssa-isms that we all know and love.
I would actually like to be Jade in that. Actually, I'd like to be Coco. I know the moments between Jade and Coco, but honestly, the only other moment that everybody remembers is Coco's going, "Get her, Jade."
Yeah.
That's the only other part. You don't really remember what Jade Jolie says.
You know what I would want to do? Tammy Brown, come on, Teletubby, teleport us to Mars!
I'm so shocked that actually wasn't in the episode.
I'm acting.
That whole entire moment.
Yeah.
If I were to pick one, it would be one from an international season, and I would want to do a red wig and a silver dress. I don't think.
Yeah.
That would be what I would want to do. After the runway, which was quilted for your pleasure, we had some great looks, we had some iconic looks, and we had some looks that were so bad they were iconic. We had some tops for the week, which included Crystal Envy, who did Good God, You're a Grip Girl. We had Susie 2, who did You're Beautiful, You're Gorgeous. And we also had Anya Nerve, who did Laganja's whole entire roast set from season 6. And then our bottoms of the week ended up being Ariete, who didn't do bad. She was just outshined. She was the other half of Jules Sparkle's back rolls moment.
Yeah, she played Jade.
She just wasn't as present as her partner was. Corey King, who did Now I'm a Glamazon Bitch, Ready for the Runway. She did Kennedy Davenport's
Oh,
whole thing.
yeah, and that was rough.
Yeah, and then Joella, who did Mariah Paris Balenciaga's like We Write the Stories, which I just think was a bad pull for Drag Race, if I'm being honest. Joella wasn't in the bottom for her performance, but she was in the bottom for shitting the bed, for lack of a better
It was
term.
So just describe what
I just did. She was shit in a bed.
Okay, so she was just a giant quilt, just a rectangle shaped quilt that was pink
With a glory Hoella right in the middle.
with a small face hole that you couldn't even see her full face in.
It was
Oh,
so good.
it was so
I miss
bad.
my queen already. Well, Corey King and Joella lip synced to Buttons last week, and Corey King, I guess, beats her. I honestly think it could have been a double sachet. I thought it was pretty bad, a pretty bad lip sync. And Joella does not pick the correct lever to dunk Michelle Visage in the Badunkadunk tank. And my Slasian diva of my life, premier LA girl, goes to LA for her premiere party. And Joella, thank you for the impact that you've had on the season. Because of you, I think this season is going to win an Emmy.
You know, second to go home is used to be forgotten, but has been 2 years in a row. Mirage and Joella, two like icons.
Well, episode 4 was a great episode, but now we're about to get into, oh my god, my favorite episode of the season so far. Episode 5. The girls come back from the runway, hot off Joella's departure, and we kind of just have a talk about like how everyone's feeling. Anya and Susie kind of have the girls pressed because they've just been consistently doing well and have been in the top and winning everything. And everybody else is kind of having this moment of like, are they doing well in the challenges? Yes, but they don't really like Susie and Anya's runway. There's almost like a team talent versus team fashion fight between the girls. It's not like Susie and Anya are not bringing it to the runway, but I mean, I kind of get what people like Lana and Crystal are saying when they're wearing what they're wearing and being like, well, I can't believe I look like this and I didn't win the challenge, but Anya's kind of wearing that.
We talk about this all the time, like how much influence do you think the runway actually has on the judging? But even so, they just don't like their outfits, even though the judges continually seem to like their outfits.
Well, that's a good point that you say, like, what, like, how much weight does, like, the outfit go? Okay, so do you tend to lean challenge heavy or runway heavy?
Challenge.
But, okay, so, like, for me, I'm the same way, and I think that the challenge is really who decides the winner, and then, but if there's, like, two people who, like, God, they're so neck and neck, like, who could win it,
Right.
then the runway should kind of be, like, the deciding factor.
Right, I think that's almost the same with the bottom, too. Like, the bottom 3.
Yes.
If they were all equally bad, and someone has a particularly bad runway as well, then I feel like they're guaranteed to be in the bottom 2.
This is just a great setup, and Anya and Susie just being themselves is pressing the girls hard. And
Yeah.
I'm loving seeing it. I'm really hoping we get like a season 3 Heathers versus Boogers sort of situation.
Well, it's almost reminding me of, like, Rulaska Talks. Anya's not really the center of their frustration. They're more frustrated about Susie. But it's kind of like Susie, too, is Jinx. And then you have, you know, Lana, Ariete, Jules being like the girl group, being like, why are they winning? They shouldn't be winning.
I've been saying this to a lot of people that I think Drag Race right now, since it's moved to MTV, is going through a renaissance. Like, just another good, like, iconic season after season after season. Because I think, like, 2 through 9 were iconic, and then we kind of, like, had 10 through 14, which were, like, meh. And, like, 15, 16, now 17, they are all hitting hard. Like, these last 3 seasons are giving me, like, 4, 5, 6 over again.
Yeah, I definitely would agree that there was a lull in the excitement of the show for a while.
But it's coming back full force. The girls de-drag, we come in the next day, and RuPaul introduces our challenge. We're going back to Saturday Night Live parodies with RDR Live, and I hated this challenge last season.
Yeah, it was rough last season. It was not funny in any way.
So when this gets announced, I booed at the TV. I did not want this to happen. I'd rather watch the worst SNL skit ever than watch like the best RDR skit ever.
See, you went into this without an open mind.
Well, my mind got open later in the episode because there were actually some good moments. Before we jump into the challenge, though, we get introduced to something that I just want to talk about, which is Jewel Sparkles asks everybody who's going to be the piggy of the week. The piggy of the week is my favorite thing that I've ever heard. I'm sorry, Dua, what is a piggy of the week?
You explain it.
Piggy of the week.
Yeah, what's a piggy of the week?
Piggy of the week is basically somebody who just eats, just like is eating. And this is a term that I'm going to be taking into my daily life. If you had to pick a piggy of the week for you, I'm talking about in life.
Yeah.
Not about like pertaining to Drag Race. Like, who's your piggy of the week?
Oh, who's that guy? I was just looking up the whole story about Blake Lively and this other guy, Justin Baldoni.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Baldoni.
Is your piggy of the week?
Yeah, he's eating. He's eating Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds up. Have you not seen anything that's going on?
I mean, no.
$400 million lawsuit against the New York Times for co-conspiring with Blake Lively.
Do you think he's gonna win?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Oh, it's juicy.
Honestly, my piggy of the week was this number 7 meal that I had from McDonald's with the large orange iced tea. It really saved me from just like a hangover I had, and I loved every second of it. So thank you to the number 7 meal. Actually, specifically thank you to the piggy of the week for the large orange iced tea.
Yeah, you love an orange iced tea.
I sure do. Give me that battery acid every day of the week, hook it up to my nipples, and let's go.
Holy shit!
The girls have to...
Oh, God.
The girls have to pick their roles, and as far as role picking goes across Drag Race history, this was pretty tame.
I don't want to do this anymore with you.
And this is a solo podcast, so I think that picking the roles this week were pretty tame.
Yeah, I think, well, the only person who wanted the same role was Hormona and Lydia Butthole Collins.
And, well, there was actually one other person who kind of talked about wanting the same role for the role of Brooke, which was Lana and Crystal, because they both wanted to be, like, the dumb blonde bimbo character. Yeah. And Lana ended up getting it because she was like, we need to push ourselves. Like, we need to do things that are unexpected of us. Read number 1 for Crystal. Like, we have the read for Crystal being like, you cannot typecast yourself as, like, the dumb blonde bimbo. And then Sam coming in and being like, yeah, honestly, Crystal, like, this role is super basic, so I really think Lana should take it. Like, it just belongs to a basic person.
Yeah.
The girls are just reading each other without even meaning to.
Like, sublim.
But nobody, like, fights about it. Like, everyone just heard those things and was like, yeah, okay. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody called me basic, I'm drop kicking a hoe.
Yeah, you would be the villain of the season because
I know. I think so much about like if I was ever on reality television. I in my day-to-day life, I'm very nice. I feel like I'm pretty warm. I'm pretty giving. I like to like converse and talk with people and like whatever. I just like when I watch TV, I think about like what I would do in those moments, and I think like a camera would just accelerate me into a point of like.
This
it would
isn't
be bad.
Real. Yeah, you're like, this isn't
real life, so I'm just gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
And I would seriously get into fights with people.
You know who you would be like? Dr. Will.
What do you know of Dr. Will besides what you have been watching for the past 3 nights of Deal or No Deal Island?
That he's crazy. He's Cuckoo crazy.
All right.
Why? What should I know?
Nothing. I'm just like, I just love how you pulled a Dr. Will reference, and I'm like, you've only known Dr. Will for 2 days.
Well, you remind me of him.
Oh.
If you were on reality TV.
Okay, that's scary.
But that's what I think you would be like.
Yeah, he is smart. And, yeah, you were right. The Hormona and Butthole, they do kind of have a moment over playing like a Golden Girls reference to this character named Gert. And Lydia kind of
Butthole goes, Hormona, you're so nice to me. You want to give this to me, right? And Hormona goes, that's not fair. You can't say that, but fine, you can have it.
Right, like, I couldn't imagine being called nice and then being like, okay, fine, you can have it.
You're right, I
am nice.
Yeah.
Like, jeez.
Hormona's just been shat on so much during the season that she'll take any little bit of, like, compliment and run with it.
I feel like the girls are warming up to Hormona a lot, though.
I definitely am.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I am watching the show. I feel like the girls are, too. Like, I think, like, when she came in, people didn't really care for her.
Yeah.
And
especially because of her first impression with the talent show, people were like, okay, maybe we, like, don't need to worry about her or whatever. But she's been showing week after week that, you know, she does have something to bring.
Yeah. I want juice. Give me my juice. Give me my cookie.
You want some orange
I want
juice?
my juice. Hold on, pod.
Sorry, chat. He's got to drink orange juice. No pulp. Because that's fucking nasty. People...
I love pulp.
Oh, that's nasty.
I love pulp.
For why?
We have fresh squeezed juice at work. And the way that I love the grapefruit juice with all that pulp in it.
Ew.
So yum. Okay.
Ew to grapefruit, ew to pulp.
Well, you just can't have grapefruit juice. That's why you don't like it. Because you're on antidepressants.
What?
You can't have grapefruit juice if you're on antidepressants.
Why not?
I don't know. I forget. I learned about it in pharmacy school, but I don't remember now.
I drink sparkling grapefruit juice at work sometimes.
Well, stop doing it.
Is that why I'm crazy?
Probably.
I found out recently. No, this is a secret between me and the podcast. Can you go away? Can I talk to them? Okay. I found out like probably 5 years ago when I'm 25, so late in life, that grapefruit and grapes are two different things. And I would just be like, why are people like saying grapefruits? Like, I know that grapes are a fruit. So I just thought it was like grapes were like the short name for grapefruits. And I just thought that grapefruits were, I never ate one. And I just thought they were giant oranges that were like weird. Yeah. So.
Wow, that was amazing. Okay, so let's go back to RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
As the girls are rehearsing for RDR Live, who's standing out to you for both good or bad reasons?
Butthole is standing out for bad reasons because...
She don't know Golden Girls.
Right, she's working with Acacia, who knows Golden Girls really well, and tries to give her, like, the line reading of how the character would do it.
Also, RuPaul is a huge Golden Girls fan.
Right.
It's, like, his favorite show ever. Alaska even says the way to win Drag Race is to just watch Golden Girls before you go on Drag Race.
That's fair. Yeah.
And...
you can't mess up that character.
You can't mess up the character. Like, because if anything... it's going to take the smallest wrong thing to just throw RuPaul off completely from it.
And what confused me about that is... why'd you fight for the role? Like, why were you like...
You want to know why she fought for that role? Because she knew that she could paint herself to look like that character. She looked exactly like Sophia, but yeah, she just didn't do a good job.
Who were you concerned for or looking forward to seeing?
Arietti's giving a lot in her rehearsal. Like, she's like just doing the most. It was annoying me versus like making me laugh.
She was literally doing like...
yeah, she sounded like that kid from the Wild Thornberries.
Yes.
And I didn't like it. Couldn't do it. And then also, I'm a little worried for Lexi and Susie's group, just because there seems to be some tension. I would hate being I would hate being in a group where every time that i.e. Lexi, would like suggest something, somebody else, i.e. Susie too, would jump in and be like, I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, that doesn't work. I agree with what Susie said. And you have to put your foot down in a group and being like, you guys, like, this is not a good idea. It's just hard.
Yeah. I think there's a way to frame it as, like, trying to be a group leader and trying to make it work for the group, other than Susie just being like, no, you shouldn't do that.
And then as far as, like, people I'm excited to see what they do, I'm always ready to see what Anya and Susie are going to do right now. Like, they're just the people I'm watching for. And honestly, Jules, was excited to see too, because she just wanted to do this Australian accent, which actually
was really good. Was strangely a really good accent.
She could go on Down Under and win that. She could win Down Under.
Yeah.
We cut to commercial, and when we come back, well, we don't cut to commercial because we're watching on WoW Presents Plus, but I imagine that MTV cut to commercial and came back, and RDR Live started right away. There was no runway yet. We didn't get an intro from RuPaul. It's just, we are in our first skit. So our first skit consists of Anya Nerve, Lana Jarre, Arietti, and Corey King, and they're doing like a caveman court style thing about marriage equality and Homo sapiens being gay people.
I think it wasn't them actually being gay. That's not what it was about.
Really?
Yeah, because they were Homo sapiens. Like, they're making a joke on the word homo.
Correct.
So they're not actually gay. Lana Del Rey was a woman with a man.
Well, she's a drag queen. She's not going to come out as a man.
I understand that, but she was
talking about how we're living a life freely.
Yeah, but they're just being Homo sapiens. It wasn't about... They weren't gay.
They called her a groomer. They call, like, they're obviously, I understand what you're saying.
But she's not actually gay.
Okay, you are looking way too far into this for me right now. So let's just talk about their individual, like, I don't know, that was...
Sorry. Okay, I don't know. Okay, whatever.
I was just saying that they're comparing it to being gay.
Okay, I'm probably just...
Okay. So let's talk about, like, how everybody did individually in this challenge. Anya Nerve was the judge. I thought she was funny, and in the moments that she wasn't even saying anything, like, her face was making me laugh.
Yeah, she knew where the camera was, and she knew how to work with a camera to be funny. And her comedic timing was spot on.
Yeah, she was very much in the moment. Like, it seemed like she knew her lines, but she knew how to deliver the lines in ways that were actually funny and made sense based off what other people were saying or doing.
Let's move over to Arietti,
who toned it down from what we saw during their trying to figure out their characters, but still doing so much.
It was just the entire time at 100% saying, the Homo sapiens, blah, 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 from the start to the finish. And no SNL skit you ever see, no matter how crazy it gets, does that. Mm-mm. Starts at 100, ends at 100. She was trying too hard and missed.
And also, I know this isn't really about it, but, like, I hated her nose in the skit. I couldn't stop staring at that white fucking caterpillar coming from underneath her unibrow. It looked gross, and she looked like Squidward to me. I did not like it. Like, she should...
You normally like her makeup.
I do, but, like, this one, it wasn't for me. Her scene partner that she was playing a lot more with was Corey King. The other kind of complaint person... what's a complaint person in court called? The defendant? The plaintiff, who did a caveman that was basically like a Jersey girl, like talking like a Jersey Justice kind of a thing.
Yeah, and I think that even though her character was so much more subtle, she was the standout to me in that group, because I just couldn't stand what Arietti was doing. So whatever Corey was doing, I was like, fine, that's better than what the girl next to you was doing.
Yeah, her line about being like, I don't know why we need to use he, she, we... they, them, vegan, vegetarian, non-binary, whatever, when has always worked. Like, yeah. She was funny. Like, yeah. It was grounded. It wasn't anything crazy, but I thought it was good. And my personal standout was Lana Jarre, who came out with a T body and a
Big
Z
old-
cup and
big old
a
set
T
of
body and a
titties.
Z cup, baby, and
They
she
had
was
to have been
shaking those
boring
titties.
things.
Oh yeah, they were.
So she's, every time she walks in, she's just shaking, and her breastplate is bouncing so much. She's got a coffee cup in her hand. It's so funny. She took a character that could have been boring and absolutely nothing and forgettable and made it something.
She just made it airheady rather than probably like what most people would do, which is like mistake airheady for almost like
Standing up for themselves.
like Regina George, like bitchy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like she went the Karen
Yeah.
rather than the Regina, which
That
was
was a good way to put it.
Thank you.
Wow,
Thank you,
that's
thank you.
good.
And her titties could predict the weather.
And her titties were from Gretchen.
The next thing that we see is Anya doing the monologue, the iconic like SNL but RDR monologue for the episode.
Yeah, it's almost like she's hosting.
Yeah, she did. She had two roles. She was the only person who did two things. And compared to who did it last year, which was Mirage, this was great. Like she reminded me of RuPaul, actually.
Yeah, she looked like a true SNL host.
Mm-hmm.
She was delivering lines that could have been so boring in a funny way. She was just such a standout.
We move to our next skit, which is starring our girls Sam Starr, Hormona Lisa, and Jules Sparkles. They're doing a podcast of lesbians who are talking about ya beavers.
Getting deep with women about the beavers.
Getting deep with women about the beavers.
Yeah, that was good. That was
Thank you,
good.
thank you.
Oh my god.
Are you keen? Are you keen? Are you keen?
Shut the fuck up.
Peachy keen.
Ew, stop.
Um,
Steve Irwin's gonna haunt you so hard.
no,
Is that
he
his
can't.
name?
Steve Irwin?
Yeah.
Oh, the crocodile hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna get you.
His son could get me any day of the week.
Oh my god, shut up.
Oh my god. He's so hot. This podcast skit was not great. It was just like kind of boring as a skit.
Yeah, it was that's a hard skit to make funny.
But Jules' accent is cracking me up, and also her facial expressions are hilarious. Hormona is doing well. You know what? It's just she's very sincere about her character that she's doing. Like she is a kind of like lipstick femme les who, did you notice, had all the long nails except for the shocker nails?
No, I didn't.
I noticed it this episode.
Her shocker nails?
Fingering nails? Finger blast nails?
Finger blast.
Her blast off nails?
What?
She had the lesbian nails.
I know, but what was the first thing you said?
The shocker nails.
What does that mean?
Well, I was thinking about this, like the two in the pink, one in the stink nails. But she was just very sincere in her character, so it actually kind of made it funny. And then Sam Starr, she reminded me of Megyn Kelly a lot. She looked like Megyn Kelly, and the way that she was talking about everything also reminded me.
You're really good at that
of
voice.
Megyn Kelly.
Ew.
Well, you don't know this about twinks, but we all can do that voice.
We all can do it.
See, you can't do it. You're not a twink. When I watched the episode the first time, I didn't think anybody was really that bad.
No. Yeah, I thought Sam Starr was just, like, boring. Like, at least Hormona made me laugh a little bit.
Jules was the one that made me laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It was a meh skit. And a meh performance. Forgettable.
Yeah.
So the next skit, we see Lexi Love and Crystal Envy as two talk show hosts, kind of doing it similar to how Michael Che and what's the other guy's name?
Scarlett Johansson's husband.
You know what? Let's start referring to men that way.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson's husband, and doing like a weekend update.
Right, and they kind of do a roast for each other a little bit, and then they introduce Susie, who is playing RuPaul's babysitter. comes in going, hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, she was...
Doesn't that sound familiar?
She plays RuPaul's babysitter who claims that she is the reason that RuPaul has all of these amazing catchphrases now.
Yes.
She's kind of like a cigarette mom, like, kind of a character.
Uh-huh.
She's the best part of it. I think that, I told you this when we were watching it, the newscast roles are going to be hard to win with, because I just think that there's not much to them. You don't get to really make a character out of it. You just read the news. The jokes write themselves.
Right.
So
you're not the one who makes the character funny.
Right. I don't really find anything about those characters enticing to pick. But Susie killed it. She was so funny.
Yeah.
And it got better as it kept going.
Yeah, because you really...
Pay me, Mom! Whoa. No, okay, can't do that. I can't do that voice. Pay me my money, Ruru!
Yeah, that was good.
Okay, thank you.
Pay me my money, Ruru! You owe me! Yeah, no, it was funny, because you understood the character right from the start. You didn't really understand what the character wanted, and then it's like, Rue took all your catchphrases, you want, like, financial compensation, which is so funny.
This was a good one. It was better than last year's.
Yep.
Again. And then we moved to our final skit, the Golden Girls knockoff, with my girl Butthole and Acacia Forgot. My girl Butthole. And Acacia Forgot.
And a special guest doctor.
I don't know
From
this.
Hacks, I don't know him.
I don't know him from Hacks. I actually only know him from an episode of Broad City. Or I don't know if it's just an episode. But he plays this guy who's like a porn star.
Wait, you have seen Broad City?
I've seen like bits and pieces because of Savannah.
Uh-huh.
Lydia and Acacia are playing Sophia and Blanche together. It's kind of like the characters that they're basing this off of. And Acacia surprised me.
Yeah, she was really funny.
Her Blanche, her like horny old lady, I'm putting air quotes around that, old lady kind of like character was funny.
Yeah.
She killed it. And then poor Butthole. What a sad butthole today.
What? Yeah, it was...
Butthole needed bleached.
It was no good in any way. There was nothing...
It felt like she learned the lines and she was reading them in her head.
Yes. There was no... Okay. Oh, I can't get ahead of myself.
Tell me, Syracuse BFA, how was the acting? I want you to critique Butthole in the way that your worst Syracuse professor would critique you guys for bad acting.
Okay. So, that was the worst thing I think I've ever seen. You should be begging the university to let you stay in this department, and you're never going to amount to anything.
All in all, the last skit was... It was actually well written. It was funny. There were moments. Butthole didn't deliver, but Acacia did.
Yes.
And we should talk about... RuPaul did a performance this episode. I love getting to see that 60-year-old, 7-foot man go on stage and give me a little 1-2 step.
It blows my mind that RuPaul is, what,
64?
4? Oh my gosh. And looks like that.
I know. Well, RDR was a success this time around. I actually really liked this challenge, and I'd like to see it come back again. I actually think that the reason why it was better this time around is because this time around they had writers.
Yes.
Because the first time that they did this, I think people were doing the writer strikes, and that's why there was a lot more sewing and design challenges last season versus other seasons.
I didn't even
And
think
also,
about that.
I think that the girls had to improv their lines. Like, they had to come up with their scripts themselves.
Scripted it, yeah.
So this was a lot better. They
Yeah.
just had to do the acting rather than improving.
Yeah, there was a lot of people who understood that they needed to play a good character in order to stand out. And I think the reason that Ariadne is in the bottom is because she's the one who missed the most. She swung the hardest and missed the most, which is what they talk about on the runway.
Mm-hmm. So we move to the runway, and the category this week is Pretty in Pink. First to the stage is Anya Nerve, who comes out in a bunch of deconstructed pink shoes.
That's what that is?
Yeah, those are shoes.
Oh.
That are sewn together to make like this whole outfit.
Oh.
The headpiece is cool. I like the outfit. I didn't realize it until Michelle told her later. I knew something was missing. I just didn't know what it needed. It needs some sort of hair, like big statement hair.
Yeah. Like, I would love a big pony.
Big pony, big mohawk, kind of like her promo.
Yes. But I like the look. Her body looks great.
I guess you could say she just did it.
Just did what?
That was a Nike reference. All right, that didn't land. Next to the stage, Corey King, who is doing
That was really bad.
Who's doing a Barbie reference and like this mini dress with a frilly skirt.
Boring.
Boring.
Seen it before.
Yeah,
She looks like a 15-year-old going to her quinceañera.
Oh my god, she looks like she's on MTV's My Sweet 16.
Yes. Yes.
Pacoima Hilton. Yeah, not impressed by this. But I will say though that it does look like the reference photo that she posted on Instagram that I saw, but I don't love it.
The next one is Ariete. She has spiked, shiny. What material is that?
I have no idea.
Like shiny nylon.
She's giving bubblegum Folsom Street Fair.
Okay.
Straps, melted bubblegum behind her. I don't know what this is. I never know what I'm looking at when Ariete comes out, but I loved this look.
You know the comic books with like the bubbles around the characters when they're like glowing with their power? That's what it looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This was sick.
Like a cartoon Scarlet Witch glowing pink.
Yeah. She looks amazing.
I agree.
She's a runway diva down, and that's why she's team fashion and not team talent. Following our girl Ariete was Lana Jarre doing a cute Little Bo Peep inspired outfit. I really liked this.
Yeah, it's cute.
I loved
I like the silhouette.
The silhouette
very
is
exaggerated hoop skirt.
hoop skirts.
Okay.
It matters how they move.
How they bounce.
How they bounce.
Yeah.
Does it have the good movement? And
Yeah.
this had the good movement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want it to
agree.
look like this and not when Scarlet Envy tried to do a hoop skirt in season 11 for the orange runway. This is how a hoop skirt moves, ladies
That
and
was
gentlemen.
very specific, and that is not something in my brain that is going to be found in the files.
Look it up.
Next, we have Hormona Lisa, or as RuPaul likes to say,
Whore.
Mona Lisa. She comes out in a mermaid dress with a flare. It's pink.
Basically, if you've seen anything she's worn on the runway so far, you've already seen this look.
Yes.
Except it's in pink now.
Yeah, I don't really like this slicked back big hair. But she's giving, pageant queen who kind of just won a pageant in Chattanooga, Tennessee, which is where she's from.
Do you not realize like this is exactly the same thing she keeps wearing over and over? So we have the promo, which this one has a coat on it. Ooh.
So what you're saying is she just always wears the same silhouette.
Yes.
The mermaid, yeah, okay. It's the mermaid dress
with a
the flare.
fucking flower on the
Yeah.
and this hair, like, it is the same thing
I didn't
every
realize.
week.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And like something on the shoulder too.
She looks fine. It's just, oh my god, you're not Bianca Del Rio. Quit wearing the same thing on the runway every week. Following Hormona was Sam Starr, who's doing like a Vegas showgirl kind of a thing. I actually did not like this.
I thought the body part looked cheap.
Yes.
Like it was just like a corset kind of with like panties.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the hair and the huge headpiece, the huge feather headpiece. Like doing the Vegas showgirl thing, I think it doesn't really matter if like the center is not as great as long as you have like some other item that people are looking at, and I was only looking at the headpiece.
I thought this was just awful.
Ew, that is such a horrible voice.
Yep. And this was also a horrible outfit. And next to the stage was Jules motherfucking Sparkles.
Yeah, she ate that.
I don't even know what this is. It's Lil Bo Peep meets Selena meets... I don't even know.
I love those pants with a flare at the end. They're like almost like bell bottoms, but bigger flare.
The crotch piece is almost so wrong that it's right again. Like this was such a cool outfit, Jules. I need Jules to start being on the top. I don't know why they keep overlooking Jules, because her runways are always sick, and she's never flopped in a challenge for me yet.
Yeah. I mean, she hasn't been completely overlooked.
I mean, only the first week. We're episode 5. I think she could have been in the top this week, too.
Next we have Crystal Envy, who comes out in this pink, almost like dripping bubblegum look. Not a huge fan. It's a basic silhouette with something on her shoulder.
I love this concept of all of the bubblegum dripping. We've actually probably seen this designer on the runway before. Jan kind of did something similar to this during their Frozen challenge in season 12. So, I don't know. It's not bad. The concept's great. It's just like, I don't know. It just doesn't look good on a man's body. She's a man.
Yeah.
Okay. Following Crystal, we have Lexi Love to the stage, giving you the state bird of New Jersey wearing a bunch of leopard print. That's pink.
I love it.
I love this. This was so cute. And also, I love how the parts that are sheer were also still leopard print. Her makeup was cool. I love her glasses, her hair, the coat. I have no notes for this.
She looks like a girl who's never or like a rich like Paris Hilton who's never been to the zoo, and they're like, "Do you want to go to the zoo?" And she's like, "Yes, I have the perfect outfit."
She looks like if like Batty Grandma, Batty Winkle. You never seen Miss Batty Winkle?
Maybe.
She's giving Batty Winkle.
Okay, fair. I see that. I see it.
I'm gonna let you introduce your girl. You know it's your girl.
You know it's your girl, Miss Booty Boot, Miss Tootie Toot, Miss Scooty Scoot, Miss Susie the Toot. She comes out in a clown outfit, literally just checkered, pink and white, bodysuit, no corset. That's fine. We'll forgive her. And 2 balloons in her hands, and she's just a fashionable clown.
Yeah, she's doing this, like, Ziegfeld reference.
Her makeup is super fun. I love that kind of makeup. It's giving, like, almost like Crystal Method. And the girls all hate it, but RuPaul and Michelle seem to like it.
Yeah, I think that the only thing that's missing, and you already said it, I wish she was just cinched for the gods in this, or she just had something in the middle. I don't know what I would want there.
Like a belt?
I don't know. Just something is just missing in the middle for me. And I think it's just I need her waist like pulled in way tighter.
Or padded.
Or just huge ass, yeah.
Yeah.
Next to the stage is Lydia B. Collins, dressed as a butthole's best friend, a penis.
You are awful.
She is literally wearing a fur coat, made to look like a dick and balls. She is shaft and head, and has a feather on top to be the Navy's best friend, semen.
This outfit is
wild.
Hilarious. Yeah. She got the balls at the bottom.
She got the balls to wear this outfit.
She said, what I'm wearing this week, I was inspired by something that brought me into the world.
A penis!
A penis!
This look was crazy, and I loved every second of it.
This is what Joella thought she was doing with her quilt.
I can't believe she made this, too.
Yeah, she is talented.
Mm-hmm. And last to the stage is... Who? Oh, right. Acacia Forgot.
Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah, I did. Acacia Forgot, who is giving you, like, a 80s businesswoman.
Yeah, and she's got, like, that curly mullet kind of hairstyle. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, it was good. There's nothing bad about it. Acacia's just never exciting. I honestly like Acacia's looks more when I see, like, pictures of them that she puts on her Instagram. Her quilted look last week, I hated on the runway and on TV. And when she posted a picture of it, there was so much more detail that I couldn't see on the stage.
Yeah.
And I loved it way more in the picture.
Well, I mean, that's what... A lot of drag queens talk about that, too. Like, thinking that their package is so great, but then things don't read on the runway the same way that it does in person or in photographs, even.
Yeah. So, but it's fine. Based on RDR Live and the runway, RuPaul has made some decisions. this week, Susie 2, Anya Nerve, and Hormona Lisa are the top 3. And our bottom 3 this week is Arietti, Butthole, and Samstar.
Do you agree with that?
I agree with the bottom 3.
I did too. For the top, I don't see why Hormona was there, and I don't see why Lana or Jules couldn't have been in that spot.
Lana, Jules, or Acacia could have taken that spot for me. I would have switched her out, but it really doesn't matter because none of them was going to win. Like, our girl, Susie Toot, ended up taking the win this week.
We find out that our bottom 2 that will be lip-syncing are Arietti and Lydia Butthole Collins. Who, going into this, who would you have assumed was going to win this lip sync?
I guess Arietti, but it's not like I really assumed anything because I didn't really know what either of them could do.
I had just assumed that...
Like, the only performance that we saw for them, one was a puppet and one did, like, flamenco.
Right, but I had just assumed that Arietti, for some reason, was a dancer because she did dancing. Even though it was a flamenco-inspired dance, she was still dancing. So I assumed that Arietti was going to blow the house down.
Well, they lip-synced to Boogie Wonderland by Earth, Wind, and Fire, and butthole shit all over that bitch.
Oh.
Butthole 8! Oh my god.
Yeah.
She boogied her little white ass off. She's played that funky music, white girl.
There was this one moment where she was boogieing and lip syncing with
RuPaul,
making eye contact, and you just knew in that moment that it was over.
It was over.
Yeah.
Arietti, I think she is a dancer. But she was so frantic.
Yeah, she looked panicked.
She looked crazy.
Yeah, she was going all over the place.
She was giving, like, wacky inflatable tube arm man.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna forget this.
Yeah, the windmill arms.
I don't know what she was doing.
Yeah, it was rough.
And, I mean, the lip sync is done, and, like, I had chills, because I just did not expect Lydia to be able to do what she just did.
Yeah,
and
her musicality was so good, too.
And I knew that this was Arietti's, like, moment to go home.
Yeah.
So Lydia wins the lip sync, and she doesn't even look at anybody in the back, because Arietti's, like, friends with all these girls. She's like, I feel bad because I just sent all these girls' friend home.
Yeah, she's, like, best friends with everyone, and when they say, you know, butthole... Shantae, you stay. Everyone in the back is like, oh,
it was crazy.
I've never seen a reaction like that ever from a cast. They must really like her. So we see that she has one last chance to stay in the competition with the Badonkadunk twist. We have, you know, a bunch of numbers still left, 1 through 10, and she has to pull a lever. She decides to pull lever number 1. And who would guess it, but Michelle gets dunked into the Dunk-a-Dunk tank. And it turns out that the numbers were 1 and 7 for season 17.
I would like to put an apology out for both production and Hormona Lisa for the first week.
Yes, we thought that it was set up.
I thought it was set up. I was sure that any lever that had been pulled was gonna work, and since it was such a huge thing that they made, like a huge thing that RuPaul said, like, bet on number 17, 1-7 at the end, they literally highlighted the 1 and the 7 spots for the season that we're on. There's just no way that wasn't the case. It was always going to be 1 and 7.
Yeah, so those just happen to be the numbers.
So, sorry for putting my production brain on and trying to think of, like, what television purposes we're going to do. But, yeah, she gets to stay another week. And thank God I was actually not ready to see Arietti go home.
Yeah, I think she has a lot more to show.
We are officially done with the Badonkadunk. There's no more saves.
Yeah, and a lot of girls were frustrated about that. They were like, well, I'm glad Arietti's here, but I wanted the Badonkadunk in case I needed it.
Yeah, there's no chance except for beating a girl in a lip sync to stay in this competition now. So, y'all better be on your best P's and Q's.
Yep. If you had to pick a top 4 right now, who would it be?
My top 4 would be Susie, Anya, Jules, Lexi, and you could possibly trade out Samstar for maybe Lexi, but those are my top 4.
Yeah, my top 4 would be Susie, Anya, Lexi, and Jules.
Yeah. So,
Easy.
um,
So we'll see how it goes.
I want to finish this podcast by saying we'll see you next week, but who knows? Maybe we'll be seeing you in 2 weeks at this point.
No, let's be disciplined.
Let's just do what we can, because life is hard. And yeah.
Thanks, guys. And just remember, if you're ever in the water and you start to get attacked by a manatee, you can hit it on its nose and it'll flip upside down.
No, what? That's horrible advice. You're supposed to shuffle your feet and get out of the water.
Shuffle your feet?
Yeah, you can't like pick your feet up and run. They said to shuffle your feet so that you don't disturb the ray.
Not a ray. A manatee.
A manatee? Why would a manatee attack you?
Sometimes.
Okay, alright. Bye, guys!
Bye!
A manatee? Those are like the mermaids of the ocean.
The mermaids.